Hey, it's Audrey June today. And I have been going through a lot of emotions. I've been doing a lot of purgation, I'm doing a lot of cleansing. I am trying not to lose faith. All these changes, all this transformation at once. I don't really want to go too far into it. But one thing that has really been challenging for me is that I've been coming up against a lot of distortions and projections. People basically misinterpreting the core of my identity and invalidating my emotions and basically just accusing me of doing things that I would never do. So I don't know if that's something that a lot of people are going through right now. I know that both Water Baby and Soul Wisdom have been talking a lot about distortions and how, in order to really get to our path as a light path worker, we really have a lot of projections to overcome and to go deep within the self, to really just live in that light and to transmute these negative shadows, these negative entities. So today I'm actually going to break in a new deck, and this is called the Lightworker Oracle deck. So this deck is new. It's exciting. I'm gonna start with the question: how do we keep faith in times of shadow work? So how do we keep our faith in times where it feels hopeless and that everything's falling apart around us? How do we keep faith during this purgation period, right? Yeah. I know that solitude, I know that serenity, I know that meditation, and there's the card for us. So we got the fourth ray of harmony, right? So the fourth ray of harmony. 4 is Emperor energy, it's foundations, it is organization, it is structure, it is habits, it is routine. It reminds me of Capricorn. And we see the heart opening. We see the symbols surrounding the doorway. And we see the third eye just pouring out rays. And then we see 6 bubbles here, which to me indicate, actually it's 8 going into the heart. We see the infinity sign above the doorway. And we see these ancient symbols here. To me, they look like they could be passing the river script, which is one of the angelic languages used to just to petition the angels, right? And we have 5, right? So he's in the middle, and then we see 5 different faces facing in different directions, right? So to me, it's like the multidimensionality of ourself in its true form. I also see the pillars walking into the temple of the heart, remembering that we have been, we will continue to be, we will always be, right? So to keep faith, and it's card number 6. So we know that 6 is about communion. It's about just creating those strong relationships, those soul family. So for me, this card is really telling us to follow the way, right? Like Mother Mary reminds us always to follow our hearts, and to just stay into that strong sense of self, like to not falter in the downloads in the ascension process. Like, losing faith is part of transmuting all this energy, right? Like, this hopelessness, this despair. For people who are highly sensitive, like, these emotions always come because it's like we have this sense that people have really let us down. And again, that's part of separation. Nobody can really let us down. We have to remember to stay true in that, right? So I'm going to read what our book says. So we have fourth ray of harmony. The fourth ray of harmony comes to you now with the qualities of beauty, harmony, and balance. Any conflict you experience now serves your divine purpose. It will eventually become the fuel you need to be born anew. Something negative will be transformed into something positive. The Archangel Gabriel helps you receive the blessing of the fourth ray of harmony now. When the fourth ray of harmony is active in your life, you are approaching spiritual initiation, which creates a whole new person, a new you. Initiation may begin with feeling torn between two choices or realities. You may wonder if you have what it takes to get through this. You do. As you discover your strength to be patient with the process, rather than trying to force an outcome prematurely, eventually you will outgrow the conflict altogether, emerging as a wiser, more powerful you. You will have gained a positive outcome from what was considered to be a negative situation. When the fourth ray of harmony becomes stronger in your soul, avoid becoming scattered, out of balance, or swinging from one extreme to the other in thoughts, actions, and emotions, right? So that has been where I've been. I have had extreme mood swings. I have been faltering. I have been going between one sense of self to another sense of self. Both sense of self is part of me, right? And it's like I'm holding on to the separation mentality, and I know that I'm faltering when I'm doing this. But when those emotions are running through me, I don't know how to regain that composure and the equilibrium. You'll need to keep grounding yourself and being moderate rather than all or nothing in your life choices, right? That resonates strong. This will create your successful outcome more swiftly than trying to force something to happen immediately. July is a time to rest, to envision, to recreate, right? We really need to recreate these foundations within ourselves so that we can recreate the foundations of the world. People are doing a lot of work right now, a lot of internal work, and you have to be patient with the process, right? And you have to ground yourself in these moments of indecision. The challenge and the gift with the fourth ray of harmony is the increased sensitivity to the beauty it engenders. Music takes on a whole new emotional depth. The beauty or chaos in your environment and even the colors you wear has more impact than usual, right? That's interesting because when I went shopping yesterday, I was very sure not to buy anything black, right? And that came from somebody that I love dearly who thinks I don't listen to a word that they say. That's part of separation consciousness anyway. You can use this increased sensitivity to your advantage by choosing art, music, colors, and so on that feel good for you. The mainstream is still operating in a fear-based energy, right? That's more so than usual. Think about the pandemic. Like, think about the way that this is acting on people. With increased sensitivity, you can at times be more affected by this. If you are experiencing increased negativity, depression, doubt, fear, or emotional instability, this is likely why, right? So when you are in the process of ascension, you become even more empathic. So it's like you're transmuting everybody's energies, and it's hard sometimes to know what's yours and what somebody else's. And when you're really close with somebody, your energy fields are like really ingrained in one another, and it's even harder to transmute that energy. I know that for me, it's like extremely triggering to have somebody I care about say things that are not true about me. I'm a Sagittarius, so truth is like the beacon of my identity. Loyalty is everything. So that invalidation that we feel, remembering that that's not really us, that's coming from somebody else. That's not our energy to carry. You can overcome this without shutting down. When you sense it happening, respond with a loving discipline, right? For foundations. You might meditate, journal, dance, create art, listen to music, exercise, have a bath, or spend time in nature to bring yourself back to balance. Gaia, nature, always. It's always, for me, that's what I need. You are encouraged to trust your own creativity, to enjoy it and use it to help heal yourself and perhaps others too. When Archangel Gabriel enters your life, there will be an emphasis on the use of sound for healing and balance. So the words you use, affirmations, and the invocations in the deck will be very powerful. So will music. You may use sound to help balance and restore your energy, right? So like that vibrational healing music. They also have like the sound bowls, sound baths on YouTube. The sounds of nature, just remembering to reconnect to Mother Gaia, and making sure that you're not listening to anything negative. And that includes people around you, right? So if people are speaking down on you, kind of just like stay away from that energy and be strong about it. You'll know when it has worked because you will feel happier and find life simpler. You may not immediately solve an issue. Please, ants, don't come on me right now. But start doing what you need to take care of yourself, knowing resolution is on its way. So the invocation, and repeat after me. I now accept of my own free will the blessings and grace of the fourth ray of harmony. I call upon the grace and assistance of the universe and Archangel Gabriel to help me find balance, wisdom, and creative approaches in all areas of my life. I ask for unconditionally loving assistance to outgrow problems in my life. I ask for divine mercy, compassion, and tenderness to help me grow into all that I am, divinely destined to be. May the art and beauty within me find authentic expression in the world. May I be held from within and grounded in my center as I approach this portal of initiation. May the unconditionally loving masters and angels that serve on this divine ray of light bring it to the hearts of all beings for the greatest good. Through divine mercy, will, and grace, so be it. So that is our message from the Lightworker Oracle deck. I do feel called to put the decks together. Just strange, I've never done this before. So the other deck that I got is the Fairy Forest. I got this because it reminded me of my mother. Oh wait, they're different sizes. So let me see here. I'm going to take this deck now, and I'm going to ask the question, how do we move past separation? In this new moon and energy, just today, right? How do we move past this separation consciousness and walk into unity consciousness? So what do we need to know? Spirit, how do we move past separation and attachment to this earthly world, these earthly avatars? All right, so Oh, ow, ow, ow. Okay, sorry. I ripped my fingernail off not that long ago, so this one jumped out. So let's see what she's telling us, right? We got the Trickster. Card 19. 1 plus 9 goes into 1. Alchemy. The Trickster is deceit, betrayal, and guile, right? So when I see this card, I immediately notice that she is green, right? That there are dark flora on her crown. That there is a speck of light down here, right? The Trickster, it really resonates with devil energy. We also see the stars up here, which to me signify hope. So in order to move past separation, we need to recognize this world for what it is, right? We need to recognize the trickster within, the trickster without, the trickster that's this world masquerading as something real. So I'm going to read what our book says, right? Let me be a reminder to be true to yourself, to your own personal truths, to code within your soul. Truly, at this time, it is essential for you to let your conscience be your guide and to live according to your own creed with open eyes. Do not fool yourself into believing another person's vision and ideas are more important than your own. Question agendas and be aware of people's history, right? This is interesting, right? So don't fall in to the dream. Don't let yourself be guided by charismatic people, charismatic ideas. Yeah. For at this time, there's one about you who is attempting to persuade you to their cause, to join them in what they see as a great task, but which in truth is simply a harnessing of your power to their agenda, which is not for your highest good. All tricksters are charming and know exactly what to say to persuade you, but this is mere language. Their deeds will not match their words, and what you are agreeing to by joining with them will be a loss of your own personal dreams for the furthering of theirs. Energy vampires. If you allow yourself to be coerced, cajoled, and manipulated at this time, it will weigh heavily on your very soul. Be more wary than is natural for you at this time. Do not betray yourself or ignore the warning signs which are all about you. Do not foolishly give away your power, but exercise it and weave a future that is truly the one you wish to create. One which will provide you with honor, plenty, and the satisfaction of having been true to yourself, right? So I'm going to draw a card for clarification. So what do we need to draw on within ourselves in order to defeat this deception, this facade? So what do we need to draw on and to remember about ourselves in order to get past this trickster energy that's coming, this deception, these illusions, these projections? All right. Okay, well, she jumped out, right? So we have Issa, stillness, pause, delicacy, right? 1 plus 7 is 8, is balance. She appears to be a snow angel, right? So I think of stillness, I think of pause, I think of patience, I think of holding one's resources within, not giving as freely. That's what this card resonates with me. So let's see what Issa has to tell us. Winter has descended upon the fairy forest, right? It's a time of rest. We're talking metaphorically here. You have ceased struggling and fighting to change what outside of yourself. Because you have relinquished the battle, you have won the war within yourself. You are now suspending activity and being in the moment. Through this stillness and inner consciousness, you are beginning to understand so much of where you have been and where you will go. And because you are fully in the present and allowing, you can also come to a deeper, more peaceful understanding of what it is you want, value, and desire. This is a moment of complete stillness and simply being, a long moment where you are completely present. You are still as a chrysalis, hanging seemingly static from a branch, fragile and mysterious. Like the chrysalis, you will do nothing at all, except become yourself. Your transformation is being worked invisibly on the inside, and when the time is right, you will share it with the world. In a situation where you seem to have no control, no power, you are learning the most valuable form of power there is, self-mastery. You pause with dignity and strength, and simply by doing this, you create the right conditions for the right change. This time will ultimately bring great peace, wisdom, and choices that enrich your life, others' lives, and the healing of the world. So, pause, patience, gathering your resources within, understanding divine timing, patience. This is a time for rest. I've been saying it. The universe has been telling me this, right? To overcome the devil, the trickster energy, these deceptions, this 3D reality, right? So then my last question is, how do we balance when we're on the spiritual path, right? How do we balance this reality with our spiritual reality? Or do we need to balance it at all? How do we truly live this spiritual life? And I hear the owl. The owl is a keeper of secrets, a totem of wisdom. Actually, the owl is one of the most powerful signs of uncovering deception within your reality. Owl medicine is strong sacred wisdom, right? I always think of the owl in Fox and the Hound and how she is the best mama, right? But she's so real, right? So how do we balance this world and the other world in this moment during this process of ascension? All right, so we got the Merciful One, right? Card number 26, 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 has to do with balance and justice energy. So I see a fairy, and she is with purple, right? We see the green around her. It's greenery. She has a crown. Her crown is covered with like stardust, right? Because fairies are not of this world either. She looks very calm and collected. She has that queen stance, that warrior stance, that underneath the surface, she knows she's got this, right? So let's see what our book says about the Merciful One. Card 26. There is a time to hold on and to endure, and there is a time to open our hands and let the soul fly free. You may be remembering that death is a sacred right and be learning about the nature of the physical transition that is taking place. Death is a huge taboo in modern culture, yet it is a path that is sacred and walked by all of us fortunate enough to have lived. So the Merciful One comes forward with love, respect, and compassion to ask you to hold the space for those who are departing and to allow yourself to let go either of your own self or of another being who is readying themselves to return to the other world. This is an interesting oracle here. Because if you think about the coronavirus and you think about the fact that a lot of people are ascending, are choosing to depart this earth, and then you think about it metaphorically, about the death of self, like if somebody decides to descend instead of to ascend, what do we do with that energy? We must allow them free choice, free will, and stop trying to control them. This is the card of deep sacred change from one stage to another, one form to another, but most truly at its heart, it is the card of letting go and the great mercy that this letting go brings to those of us in pain and unable to stay as we are. The merciful one lifts pain, makes passing easy, ensures we are surrounded by loved ones, and respects the great moment that this is. Know now that a death of a kind is coming, and the merciful one wishes the letting go to be dignified and sacred. So let go and let an ending continue with beauty, dignity, and mercy, right? So in this ascension process, this moment of transformation, when we move from that reality into the next, the true way to balance this transformation is to let it be, right? Just like the song, Let It Be, whisper words of wisdom, let it be, right? Stop fighting, stop resisting. This transformation is coming. This transformation is there. This release has been coming for a long time. So just flowing with it, flowing with the universe, not trying to force your own reality. And this message, today's reading has been deeply personal for me, right? We're all at this moment right now of intense change. And some of us, myself included, have been resisting very strong signs from the universe and living in this energy of being between timelines, right? I talked about this yesterday. But really, what we need to do is just let it be. Call on your guides, call on Gabriel. Understand that nothing in this world is everlasting, everything is temporal, is transient, and we've been on this timeline, we've been on different timelines. Time is non-linear, so just go into the sacred heart, right? Go within yourself, trust your intuition, trust your heart, and let go, release. Let the winter take care of you. Take rest, take care of your needs. Namaste. I love you.